Wow, so hey, I'm Beetle, and well, Sonic is having his birthday, and I didn't anticipate this, but it seems that I'm making a birthday present. So this video was very improvised, but I worked so hard on it because I really do want to make something really good. And there's a lot that happened. I failed once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times. I failed a lot, but I got a result that I really enjoyed. So come with me and watch all of my journey doing this Sonic Redraw. If you didn't know, there was this really popular challenge, maybe a few weeks ago, not too long ago, uh, where many artists would draw specific frames from the anime Sailor Moon. There was this specific shot, and so many people did that. And now Sonic is doing something similar. And well, I really like Sonic. I'm such a huge fan. So I decided I would jump in on this one. The issue also was that I'm actually also working on another project right now. So it was really hard managing the time to do this. The other thing, I was really juggling a lot with the projects. But let's take a look. So, what do I feel I want from this frame? I wanted to know if I could do something a little bit more special. I didn't have time maybe for that level of specialness I wanted to achieve, but I also did something that I really liked. So I went to investigate. I wanted context. I have seen the episodes from the Sonic Mania Animated Series, but I did also want to remember what was the specific feeling from that scene. And now what I found out was that Metal Sonic was involved in it. And I was like, well, I could use this, perhaps. I saw around 4 frames that I wanted to perhaps make a small animation if time was available to me. That wasn't the case, but I still tried something. Before getting ahead of myself, before getting into any animation, I decided to make a test. I wanted to see what I would do. There was something I was looking for. I wanted for my drawing to feel very unique and to look sorta my style. I tried one time. I just wanted to see the basic head shape, where things were found, basically the anatomy of Sonic, but I wasn't sure I was giving it enough attention, so I started back again. And this time I wanted to keep a lot of the details in. So I started with a lighter tone in my sketch and then went into a higher tone in the sketch, which actually became the whole thing. There was still something missing from this piece, and then I found out what it was. What had happened was that I basically just copied the piece without giving it much sense of style. And I was really disappointed in what I did then. I was thinking, well, maybe if I color it, I can improve it. But that still didn't feel right. I feel I could do so much more. I went ahead and did a little test. I did a little test where I would color it and see how well it would look if I finished it. But even then, I wasn't satisfied. Let's call it the first real attempt. So this was it. Now, then I said, hey, I want to push the proportions. I want to make it look exaggerated. The things I like. I said to myself, let's do one quick, let's do it however it comes out, because I want it to look like something I did. And then I tried, and it actually was really still very similar. I don't think I pushed it hard enough. Something was missing. So this was the second attempt. Maybe my second failure. I don't know. But it's something. We're getting there. Now, here I decided I would actually do it. I had to do it. And then the idea came to my head. Let's try to include first what I wanted to do, a more complete scene. And I started by adding some things from Metal Sonic. I wanted him to be not the focus of the image, because it's not the focus of the frame we were given, but I still wanted him to sort of make his cameo in this. And then from that, I felt, hey, I can exaggerate a lot from this. I kinda feel what the perspective is, so I can work with that. And I started pushing it a little bit, not too much. I wanted to convey the feeling that Sonic was sort of like leaning over, but not too much, just slightly. It went from that to changing the facial expression a little bit more, exaggerating the mouth a little bit more, exaggerating the hand a lot more. I felt that was something I kept doing very similar, because I really like the style that is already used in the animations. So it was kind of hard to pull back a little and say, hey, wait a moment, do it how you would do it. After setting up all the features that I wanted in the sketch, I went ahead and did all the line art, and my hand was in pain. I had been drawing for a long time. I felt like it was beginning to become hollow. I don't know, something like that. It was a lot of pressure, and that's a bad habit that I have to break, but still I was doing it a lot. So the line art has that heavy feel to it, those thick lines and things I do sometimes, and that was all good. And then came one of the worst parts, perhaps, something that was so difficult for me: the coloring and the shading. Well, both the same at the same time. If you remember, I did a little test of what I wanted to do. It wasn't a test at the time, but it became like an idea that I would eventually use. So I was shading, and I found myself stuck between not feeling so sure about the colors I was using. I wasn't using very different colors from the first one I did, but I still didn't feel so sure about it. At that point, I even stopped recording. I tried and tried so many configurations, I just couldn't get to the one I wanted. It started to feel very busy, like there was too many colors. Sometimes I think that can be useful, but this time I wasn't feeling it. The test that I made before made me like the shading a lot more. So I started to roll back on many changes of the shading and try to emulate the first one I did, but with the new style. And I think that was the key. I was blinded by so many colors that I needed a little bit more space to think, like that first test. Now that I had the colors, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of the piece. I included the background. I didn't want to make it very heavy on the shading, so I went light on the tones that I used, just using a few shades of the red. Coloring and finishing Metal Sonic was really fun. I think that part of the drawing really sells on the mocking effect that Sonic has. Even after all that, I wanted a little bit more. I'm not sure how this ended up. Well, first of all, here is the final piece. But I wanted more. I wanted to do something extra. I decided, well, I couldn't actually animate all the 4 frames that I wanted to, but what if I just make like a head bobbing expression? That would look really cool and make Metal Sonic look like he's attacking. So I did that, and this was the result. Yes, I'm actually not so sure in the end how much I liked it. I didn't have much time to do many edits. I think if I wanted to make it look better, I could. I just would need to make a lot, well, not a lot more, but maybe just 2 or 3 frames more and exaggerate some of the other areas. But I think in the end, I'm happy. Happy birthday, Sonic. Hey, if you're here, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I thank you a lot for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you can go check out some of the other stuff that I have. I hope that one day I can make a more in-depth video on Sonic, but for now, since this was really improvised, see you soon!